Have you ever completed a diagnostic or quiz, felt proud you actually finished it, and then stared at the results thinking, okay, now what? That moment, right there, the space between information and action, is where most businesses get stuck. Not because they're unmotivated, not because they don't care, but because clarity without direction becomes noise. Today, we're going to turn your data integrity score into momentum. Welcome back to Tech Talks with Grace, the show where we turn operational chaos into clarity one system at a time. In episode 5, you built your data integrity score. In episode 6, you learned what that score means and how to interpret it without emotion, panic, or shame. And today, we take the most important step of all, turning your score into action using the guided checklist. Because clarity is useful, but action creates change. By the end of today's episode, you'll know how the guided checklist works, why progress bars matter more than you think, how to build momentum using the first 3 tasks rule, and how to choose a single system task that moves the entire business forward. Let's get into it. Here's the truth about operational work. It doesn't transform your business because you know it. It transforms your business because you do it. Your data integrity score gave you visibility, but visibility without follow-through leads to frustration. Most businesses don't fail because they lack information. They fail because their insights never make it into their systems. And the reason is simple. Big changes feel overwhelming. Small changes compound. That's why today's episode focuses entirely on micro action, the kind of progress your future systems will thank you for. Let's talk about the guided checklist, the backbone of your operational improvement system. Imagine a checklist that doesn't overwhelm you with 100 tasks, but instead organizes your operational improvements into 5 categories you scored: consistency, accuracy, completeness, connectivity, and stewardship. Each category contains small, targeted, practical actions designed to strengthen your systems without requiring massive time investments. Why this matters? Because big tasks trigger avoidance, but small, clear actions trigger execution. Let's break it down. 1. The checklist gives you a starting point. This is one of the biggest challenges that ops work is not the doing. Again, it's not really your ops problem that they're not trying to do their best to do their job. It's deciding where to start. When everything feels important, nothing gets done. The guided checklist really removes this cognitive load by telling you exactly 3 things: which category to start with, which tasks support that category, and how to sequence those tasks. The moment that you know your lowest category, the checklist shines a light on your first 3 moves. No thinking, no debating, just clarity to action. Each task is then bite-sized. Every task in the checklist becomes intentionally small, because operational improvement fails when tasks are too big, too vague, or too undefined. Tasks like fix our CRM, update our intake system, clean our data. Those aren't tasks. They're projects in disguise. The guided checklist breaks these into micro steps like standardize one naming convention, replace one free text field with a drop-down, assign an owner to one integration. Small tasks are easier to complete, and completed tasks build confidence. And confidence builds momentum. You see where we're going with this? Let's talk about something that's surprisingly powerful. Progress bars. Yes, those little bars that fill up as you complete tasks. They matter more than you think. Because operational work is invisible. You don't get applause. You don't get instant gratification. You don't get the dopamine hit most tasks give you. But progress bars change that. They really end up creating a visual reward, It makes your effort visible, and it can reinforce that you're moving forward. What ends up happening is it reduces the emotional weight. How far do I still have to go? And most importantly, it protects your motivation. Because when you can see yourself making progress, even slowly, you're far more likely to keep going. In your business, momentum is a system. Progress bars help maintain it. Now, let's talk about the most important rule in today's episode. Complete the first 3 tasks in your lowest category. Not complete your entire category. Not fix everything before moving on. Just the first 3 tasks. Here's why this works. Reason 1, it guarantees early wins. The first tasks are intentionally simple. They're really designed to build confidence and deliver that quick progress that you really need. You need that quick win. You get to check boxes. You get visible movement. You get a cleaner system within minutes, not weeks. And nothing drives long-term improvement like early wins. Reason 2, it prevents that feeling of being overwhelmed. If I told you to fix everything in your lowest category, you'd avoid it. Because the list might feel long, or abstract, or confusing. But 3 tasks? Anyone can do 3 tasks. This frames operational improvement as achievable, even inside a busy week. Reason 3, it strengthens the foundation before the advanced work. The later tasks in each category depend on the early ones. For example, you cannot improve accuracy before increasing consistency. You can't fix connectivity before improving completeness. You can't optimize data stewardship before someone actually owns the system. The checklist is sequenced intentionally. Your first 3 tasks create the stability your later tasks depend on. It's like building a staircase. You can't skip the first steps. You rise because each step supports the next. Let's return to those progress bars I was mentioning earlier, because how you use them is just as important as having them. Let me give you a framework here. The first part of this framework is to review those progress bars once a week. Not daily, not hourly, once a week. Okay, you might be asking yourself, well, why weekly? What if I really want to look, just, take a peek? No. Weekly, because weekly rhythms drive operational consistency. Daily is too much. Monthly is too far apart. Weekly lets you celebrate progress, identify stuck points, set realistic goals, and reset your focus. Because remember, this is about honesty. Honesty with your data, with your information, and your systems. And these 3 tasks are going to help you hone in on that. These progress bars are going to allow you once a week to check yourself. The second part, use progress bars as emotional regulation. This may sound dramatic, but it's true. When you're running a business, your perception of progress is often distorted by stress. Progress bars anchor you in reality. Third, you're going to use them to guide strategic conversations. Show your team where progress is happening, where bottlenecks exist, where your support and their support is needed. Visuals move people. Progress bars create clarity. Now that you've completed your first 3 tasks in your lowest category and you've reviewed your progress bars weekly, you're ready for the final step. Choose one system task. A system task is different from a micro task. It's not tiny, but it's not overwhelming. It's a medium lift task that improves a full system, not just a field or setting. I'm going to give you some examples. Creating a standard intake form. Improving your CRM stage flow, not fix my CRM, improving your CRM stage flow. Fixing one broken integration. Standardizing your client folder structure. Creating a single onboarding checklist. The key here is one task, not three, not five. Because the moment you take on too many system improvements at once, everything slows down. Momentum comes from focus, and focus comes from choosing one system task and seeing it through. Now, here is what I want you to do this week. Step 1, I want you to complete the first 3 tasks in your lowest category. No more, no less, just start. Step 2, I want you to review your progress bars. Let them show you the truth. Progress is happening. Step 3, I want you to choose one system task to focus on next. One action that creates noticeable improvement for your team or your clients. Small moves, clear direction, big impact. This is the moment your systems begin to transform, not because you learned something new, but because you acted on what you already know. In the next episode, we take this momentum even further with something I call Today's Focus, a daily clarity ritual that helps you stay aligned, calm, and productive without losing sight of your operational goals. I'll see you there.